Welcome. Welcome to Unity of Charlotte. We welcome you if you are here in the sanctuary, if you're at home on Zoom, or if you're watching this later on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on this Christmas Eve service. If you're here for the first time, we'd like to give you a welcome. You can gently raise your hand. We won't ask you to do anything special, no song and dance. But if you're here for the first time, gently raise your hand. Awesome. We welcome you here. Know that we have a visitor's packet that has a lot of information if you'd like to take that home and read about that on your off time. I know that you can also join us afterwards for our fellowship time, a cup of coffee, some Christmas treats, and you can ask us questions about unity in general, or about Unity of Charlotte more specifically. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to everybody, absolutely. So this Sunday things are changing up a bit because of or changing from our normal flow of service because it is a Christmas Eve celebration. We will also, you see the chairs up here, we will also have a Christmas performance from our Unity of Charlotte players. And we will also be celebrating the 12 Powers ceremony as well. So, did everybody get a candle? Is there anyone who didn't get a candle? Let me put it that way. Anyone who did not get a candle? Did not get a candle? Wow. Congratulations, ushers. Yay. Everybody got one. We, on your way out, also know that pick up a free Advent booklet, and the reason we say this is, even though this is the last Sunday of Advent, this booklet continues with the 12 powers that we're going to talk about as well. So the 12 days after Christmas is chock full of good information and stuff as well. Pick up a CD of Christmas music, free, a gift to take home as well. And Reverend Lisa's making, and we have the Advent booklet in Spanish as well. Don't ask me to pronounce that. CD is English only. There you go. And again, please join us afterwards in the entry for fellowship after the service, as we've got some Christmas treats out there for everyone, and holiday cheer as well. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Adrienne Calabrese. She is our director of our theater ministry. Dr. Adrienne, why don't you come forward?
Right.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I know we're all feeling very festive this time of the year. We have a wonderful program for you today. We'll make you laugh a little bit, and then we'll make you cry. So we'll have a lot of today, and we'll also have some very sacred, special moments. And on behalf of the cast and all of the actors that have been with us for this past year, we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you like what you see, we have a lot of fun. Keep us in mind joining the Unity of Charlotte players next year. We'll keep you posted. And we have a very special program today, and we have a very special guest.
Okay, you're looking at me. That's what you're looking at. I'm Ebenezer Scrooge. Some of you might know me. I had what might be called a spiritual experience not too long ago. I was visited by 3 spirits who taught me the meaning of life. You don't believe me? Bah, humbug. It's true. I wasn't a very nice person. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. I was a banker, and rather greedy. I didn't care too much about other people. I only cared about myself and my money, of course. Well, those spirits let me know that if I continued to be that way and treat people badly, I would live a very sad, lonely, and miserable life. If I wanted to be happy, I would have to understand what Christmas is all about. Bah, humbug, I thought at first. But then after they showed me what would happen to me, I changed my mind. Now my life is totally different and joyful. Here we are, and it's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year when we all act a little nicer. And we smile a little easier. For a couple of days out of the year, we are the people that we always hoped we would be. It's a miracle. It's really a miracle because it happens every Christmas. And every Christmas Eve. And if you waste that miracle, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer for it. I know what I'm talking about. You must do something. You'll have to take a chance. You must get involved. There are people that are having trouble making their miracles happen. There are people who don't have enough to eat. There are people that are cold. You can go out and say hello to these people. You can take an old blanket out of the closet and say, here. You can make them a sandwich and say, here. I get it now. If you give to others, then it can happen. Then the miracle can happen to you. It's not just the poor and the hungry. It's everybody who needs this miracle, and it can happen today for all of you. If you believed in this spirit thing, the miracle will happen. And then you'll want it to happen again tomorrow. It can happen every day. You've just got to want that feeling. And if you like it and you want it, you'll get greedy for it. Just like me. You'll want it to happen every day of your life, and it can happen to you. I believe in it now. I believe that it's going to happen to me now. I'm ready for it. And it's great. It's a good feeling. It's better than I have ever felt in a long time. I'm ready. Are you? Yes. Good. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Strange visitor was our own Steve Argo. He was wonderful, wasn't he? While we have a minute, I just want to thank some people. I'd like to thank our crack tech crew, Jim and Alan and Will. They helped us all year long, so we are very grateful for their help all year long. And of course, this whole ministry would not have been possible without our Reverends Lisa and Jim. So let's hear it for them. Big round of applause. All right, now, well, you can see behind me, we have another treat for you. And you can see our cast. It's quite a big one this time around. And you know most of these people already, but you may not recognize them when they come out in about a minute now. So without further ado, we want to present you to the Real Housewives of the Bible Christmas edition.
Good afternoon, and welcome to this very special Christmas edition of the real housewives of the Bible.
We have a great show for you tonight with plenty of laughs and some unforgettable moments with those ladies you love from the New Testament.
I'm Pepper Saltzman.
And I am Stephen the Bear, and we are about to be joined by some of the most memorable women the Bible has ever known.
Should we bring them out? Yeah! All right. First up, we have Elizabeth, whose household was visited by the angel Gabriel and was told she would give birth to her son John at the ripe old age of 88. Let's welcome Elizabeth.
Motherhood at my age is a test, a baptism by fire. Thank you.
Next, we have Bernice, whose husband is one of the shepherds that was visited by a choir of angels.
I'm just here to wish everyone a Feliz Navidad.
I'm guessing we're in for a night of sheep pumps, hey Bernice?
You got that right.
Great. Now, our next guest really puts the inn in innkeeper. She and her husband own the inn and stables where Christ was born. Put it together for, wait a minute, it just says innkeeper's wife.
Yeah, that's me.
But what's your name?
Who even knows anymore?
Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's welcome the innkeeper's wife to the stage.
Don't even ask me if there's any room in the inn, because there's not.
And up next, we have the great, there's a whole lot of great grandmother of Christ, the one and only Eve.
I'm the greatest grandma of all.
Thanks for being here, everyone.
Kind of feel like we're missing someone. Yeah, we're talking about Christmas. Isn't it pretty important, the woman we should have here?
Don't worry, we'll get to her. But for now, we want to take a moment to hear what you ladies have to say about the events leading up to Christ's birth.
It all started with a visit from an angel, I'm told.
Yeah, that's right. And I nearly knocked off my feet when he told me I was going to have a baby.
Wait, an angel visited you too?
Yep, same angel that visited my cousin, Mary. Gabriel was his name. I guess he's announcing babies for his business.
But Gabriel visited you first, right, Elizabeth?
That's right. He showed up out of nowhere and told me I was expecting. No one believed me at first. At my age, I'm closer to the grave than I am a cradle. But I gave birth to my boy, John, just like the angel said I would.
And Mary gave birth to the Son of God, just as Gabriel told her he would.
It's exhausting having a newborn baby at 88, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
All's wool that ends wool.
What can you tell us a little more about what went down that night in Bethlehem?
It was a busy night. People were arriving from all over Galilee to be counted in the census. You were there, right? You saw how crowded it was.
Oh yeah, there were a lot that flocked to Bethlehem.
Good one.
Okay, that's how Mary and Joseph ended up at your inn, right?
Right, and it was lucky we had our stables available to help that nice woman. Poor thing was due to give birth at any minute. I can't believe her husband dragged her all the way from Nazareth in her condition just because her husband is from Bethlehem. We're more than just someone's wife.
Tell me about it, sister.
Wives are people too.
Oh, my production assistant forgot to write your name on my cards.
No, she didn't.
But she just wrote innkeeper's wife.
That's right. That's all anybody knows me for. The wife of the guy who turned Mary and Joseph away from the inn. I'm a lot more than that.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Wow, no one ever asked me anything about myself. I don't know where to start. I guess you could say I'm...
We'll come back to that. And how about you, Bernice?
What about me?
Your husband was one of the shepherds who was visited by the angels the night the Christ consciousness was born, right?
He sure was.
Okay, can you tell me about how many angels were there?
Oh, there was a whole choir of angels, all shapes and sizes.
I'm probably going to regret this, but what did the angels say to your husband?
They said that a child would be born in the city of David, and he was the Christ.
Wow. All right, great. Thanks for sharing such wonderful news.
You heard it first here.
I walked right into that one. So Eve, what are your thoughts on the night Christ was born?
Listen, Steve, these women have told great stories, but I think there's one special lady we're all anxious to hear from.
So, let's bring her out now. Mary, come and join us.
So, tell us, Mary, what does it feel like to be the mother of the Son of God, the Christ consciousness?
It's so many feelings, all at once. It's wonderful and terrifying, but it's a gift I'll be grateful for forever. It's a love I have never known, and someday he will shower the world with a love we can't even imagine.
Well, that's a great way to end the show, unless there's someone that has anything to add.
Only that there's room for that little bundle of joy in the inn at any time.
Thank you.
I just want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas.
Oh no! And that's all the show we have for you tonight.
Tune in next time when we talk to Sarah, wife of Abraham, who gave birth to her first child at the age of 90.
Just hearing that makes me tired.
That's past your bedtime.
Okay. And on that note,
Good night, everyone.
and Merry
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
I don't know about you guys, but I could use a few more sheep jokes. I haven't had my fill yet. We've got a couple of announcements that we would like to make. So we have a burning bowl service and a letter writing service next week. So next week, same time, noon, please be here, and we'll do that as well. And invite your family and friends. That burning bowl is one of the favorites of our services throughout the year. So next week at noon, as we affirm a positive new year going forward as well. We've got a save the date. We've got tons of stuff coming up. The week after is our White Stone ceremony. That is the normal time. Mysteries of John book reading. Ron, are you here? Come see Ron for information on that as well. Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Parade. We will be marching in that parade, so come see either Reverend Lisa or I for that information. We have a volunteer appreciation pancake party. We're calling it a party. If you are a volunteer and have served throughout the year 2023, be here. That is a Saturday, January 27th, and we'll have some fun with some pancakes that morning and fellowship. Rabbi Tracy will be our guest speaker in February. Our annual membership meeting is February 11th. So after the service, we will have that annual meeting. We also have a book study that we will, Reverend Lisa and I will do starting February 11th, that same day, using that booklet, The Black Church to New Thought. So we'll talk about that as well. And in March, really looking out there, we will have an abundance consciousness workshop with Bill and Cher, and Bill is spelled with one L? I don't know. When he shows up in March, I'd like you to ask him, why only one L, Bill? So, with that, we will move into our offertory for today. So now is that part of the service where we are able to give back. So if our ushers could prepare themselves. We know that as we give, so that we receive. It's through your generous giving that we are able to not only serve this ministry, this church, Unity of Charlotte, but it allows us to serve our greater community and our world as well. So please join me in our prosperity blessing out loud. Joyously I give this gift, knowing the divine presence blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
And the fourth Sunday of Advent. So what a wonderful way to bless and celebrate the coming of the Christmas holiday. So today we're celebrating joy. This is the fourth Advent is the fourth Sunday of Advent is joy. And it reminds us that as we have traveled through these 4 weeks of Advent up to the celebration of Christmas, we're remembering the greatest joy, which is what the birth of that Christ baby in the stable was in the time of Jesus, and what that is in the Christ birth within our own hearts and minds. We're going to light each one of the Advent candles today, and then we're going to move into the 12 Powers Candle Ceremony, which we'll explain more about. But let's step through our 4 weeks of Advent. The first candle we have represents hope and faith. And as we light this candle of hope and faith, we are awakening the gift of the Christ presence within. The second candle is for peace. And as we light this candle, you see we're getting more and more light. And with the coming of this light, we are able to establish the peace within our hearts and our souls. That is an everlasting peace within our lives, but also in our world. The third candle represents love. Love is God expressing in us, as us, and through us. See how the light gets brighter as we welcome divine love into our hearts. And finally, we come to the fourth candle, the fourth week of Advent, which is joy. Joy. Joy is a state of mind and an orientation of the heart. And what greater joy is there than to realize the birth of the Christ within each one of us every day? We light the candle of joy. And so, you see with the light of each candle, that light grows brighter and brighter. Just as we get closer and closer to the awareness of our own Christ presence, we get brighter and brighter. And eventually we will come to the Christ candle, but that will be part of our 12 power ceremony. Just take a deep breath in and gently close your eyes for a moment. We're moving now into a very sacred time and a sacred ceremony. We started in such a joyous place, a little laughter, a little celebration, a Feliz Navidad, and now we're going to take some quiet inner time to truly open our hearts and our minds and our souls to the meaning of Christmas as we experience it now in this present moment. We're going to be doing what we call the 12 powers ceremony. And for some of you, if you're new to the idea of the 12 powers, these are the 12 faculties, or the 12 powers that are inherent in each and every one of us as spiritual beings. And we all express them to some degree. But being aware of these attributes allows us to focus on bringing those that are perhaps not awakened enough forth in our lives so that we may manifest more goodness, more light, more joy, more love, which is our reason for being here. So we're going to be lighting each one of these candles, and as we light each one, we'll tell you a little bit about that power, that spiritual faculty. These are spiritual attributes that are divine and eternal in nature. They can never be destroyed or disappear, but they can be dormant. And when all of our self is awakened, that is when we realize what we at Unity call the Christ within. That is our spiritual presence. That is living from an awareness of God as our only source and resource, and expressing the power of that love, that light, and that awareness in our lives and in the world. You'll be given an opportunity after we light these candles to come up with the candle that you're holding, to light your candle from whichever power you feel called to. We're going to do a little meditation as we go through this, so you'll have a moment to tune in to your own inner voice, your own inner awareness, to see which one of these 12 powers, as we're going through them, tune in and listen and feel, see if it's resonating for you. And the one that really stands out, that's the one for you to pay attention to and perhaps work on bringing forward this next year. And then that will be the candle you'll come forward and light. So I'm going to give a few instructions because we're going to have lit candles walking around the room. I know some of you have been through this, but it's always a good reminder. These little paper shields will help keep the wax from dripping on your hand. Very important. So always move the shield up about halfway or a little above and hold your candle firmly in your hand with the paper on top. That way, if wax does drip, it drips on the paper, not on you. Ushers are going to be coming through when we start to have people come forward. The ushers will come through and tell you when it's time for your row to come up to the front. We'll start with this section over here, then we'll go to this section, then this one, then this one. But don't worry, your ushers will guide you through it. You'll form a line, and then we'll have 2 people at a time come forward to light from whichever candle you feel called to light your candle from. We have a slide up that has the powers and the colors to help you find the candle you're looking for, but we'll also be talking about each one as we go through. The best way to light your candle is to tilt it perpendicular and put the wick next to the lit flame, and then hold it upright. Remember, firmly, paper on top, and pay attention now from the time you have that. And this is great because this is a meditation. My assistant is showing you the correct and incorrect ways to do this. Because you're then going to walk back to your seat with your candle lit and remain standing. So that we'll be standing for everyone to walk through the ceremony, holding sacred space for each person as they walk forward. When you go back to your seat, remain standing, and I would invite you to really focus on your candle and the power that's come forward in your mind to focus on. And let this quiet contemplative time be a very powerful time to call that power forth. If you choose not to come up, it's perfectly okay. If you don't feel you can walk up to the front, get somebody next to you to light your candle for you. Or when they come and sit back down, you can light your candle off of theirs. So if anybody feels uncomfortable about walking forward, it's perfectly okay. Reverend Jim is demonstrating how to light your candle appropriately. A lit candle always remains upright. We never do this. Always the lit candle, I'm sorry, it's not lit, it always remains upright. The candle you want to light, you go perpendicular. All right? This is, first of all, very quick way to light your candle and not burn your hands. So please follow that instruction if you need to have your candle lit. Once everybody's back in their seats, please stand and we'll sing Silent Night together. And then please do not blow your candle out because we're going to do that together ritually to end the ceremony. So keep your candle lit, stay standing. When everybody's done, we will sing Silent Night and close the ceremony by blowing out your candle. That will be the closing of our service. So once you blow that candle out, we'll do a prayer for protection. And as you leave, there will be baskets that you can drop your unlit candle in. I think I got everything. Did I get everything, Rev Jim? Everybody feel confident? Good. All right. Then let's begin by just entering into a state of meditation and contemplation. I invite you to sit back now. You might keep your eyes closed as we go through lighting each candle, or you may want to keep them gently open and look as each candle is lit and feel a sense of that power that we're speaking about. You don't have to remember which color is the candle. We have little cards up here that'll tell you, so once you know the power, you can easily find the right candle that you're looking for. We can also help you, and then there's the slide behind here. So let's take a moment now to just relax and breathe. Relax and breathe. Something we don't often do during the holiday rush. But this is the moment. The very sacred space we've created here makes this time available for us to really turn within. So take a moment to focus on your breath and take a nice deep breath in. And let it out slowly on an exhale. Let's do that one more time. A deep breath in. We turn our attention inward, and a slow exhale out as we feel everything relax. Our shoulders drop, our eyes relax. Our mind settles, and our heart opens. Let this time intentionally, let this ceremony have the intention of being sacred and meaningful to you. We are spiritual beings empowered with divine attributes that allow us to create, inspire, and manifest the goodness, the love, and the light of God in our lives and on this planet. So right now, we soften our hearts, open our minds, and prepare to listen. Prepare to listen with wide open attention. What power is being called forth in my life to be nurtured, balanced, or expressed more meaningfully? Ask that question. What power is being called forth in my life to be nurtured, balanced, or expressed more meaningfully? Then stay open and focused and relaxed as we move into the 12 powers. I'm going to start with the power of faith. This is represented by the disciple Peter, and is the color dark or medium blue. Faith is that quality within us which enables us to look past appearances of lack, limitation, or difficulty. It allows us to take hold of the divine idea and believe in it, even if we don't see evidence of it in our lives or in our world. Through faith, we know with inner knowing the truth that has not yet expressed. But faith is more than mere belief. Faith is the very substance of that which is believed. And working in spiritual substance accomplishes all things. This is faith that cooperates with creative law. When it is exercised deep in spiritual consciousness, it finds its abode. And here, it works under divine law without variation and brings results that are seemingly miraculous.
I light the candle of strength. Andrew represents the disciple, and the color is light green. This is not a physical strength alone, but a mental and spiritual strength. All strength originates in spirit. Thought and word spiritually expresses with strength and brings forth into manifestation. The power of strength is not force, manipulation, or defensiveness. It is spiritual courage and confidence. Non-resistance is the highest expression of strength. It does not mean non-action, but is an effective, calm, and single-minded, divine mind-centered attitude of mind from which all action expresses God.
I now light the candle of wisdom, also known as discernment or judgment. The disciple is James, and the color is yellow. Wisdom. Wisdom is spiritual discernment. It is the inner voice through whose expression we come into a larger realization of ourselves. It's the faculty we use by which we appraise, we evaluate, or we discern in order to make the best decisions. Judgment, discernment, and wisdom are our ability to maintain enlightened objectivity about our life and our world. This faculty of mind can be exercised in two ways: from sense perception, or our human perception, or from spiritual understanding. If its action is based on sense perception alone, its conclusions are fallible and it's often condemnatory. When based in spiritual understanding, they bring peace, harmony, and connection. Wisdom.
I light the candle of love. John represents the disciple, and the color is pink. Love is the power that joins and binds together the universe and everything in it. Love is harmonizing and a constructive power. When it is made active in consciousness, it restores in our awareness the connection that is present among all living things. Spiritual love is the total, unconditional acceptance of everyone and everything. Love is patient, kind, humble, courteous, unselfish, good-tempered, guileless, and sincere. Divine love is impersonal. It loves for the sake of loving. It's not concerned with what or who it loves, nor with the return of love. Like the sun, its joy is in the shining forth of its nature. Love is an inner quality that sees good everywhere and in everybody. It insists that all is good. Love is the great harmonizer and healer. Love.
I now light the candle for power. Power is represented by the disciple Philip, and it's the color purple. It's important to understand that power is not an end in itself and not a goal to be sought. Rather, what we mean is it's a means that enables us to attain the end of bringing forth God ideas on earth. It's not to be used for selfish gain or satisfaction of the personal ego, but for the forward spiritual movement of the whole. Its purpose is not meant to be one of controlling others, but for the purpose of taking dominion over our own thoughts and feelings in order to come into a greater God awareness. Through the right alignment with spiritual laws, power moves vibration into substance and enables us to manifest our highest good in our lives. Power.
I light the candle of imagination, represented by the disciple Bartholomew, and it is the color of blue. Imagination is our ability to conceive, to picture, and to conceptualize. It is the formative power of mind that shapes thoughts into mental images, which have color, variety, and dimension. Imagination gives form to the formless. The highest use of imagination is to shape thoughts into images that most fully reflect the nature of the original divine idea. Charles Fillmore wrote, "Let the God within you express itself through you in the world without." Imagination.
I light the candle now of understanding, represented by the disciple Thomas and the color gold. Understanding is the ability to know, to perceive, or to comprehend. Spiritual discernment reveals that knowledge and intelligence are auxiliary to understanding. Spiritual understanding is the ability of the mind to apprehend and realize the laws of thought and the relationship of ideas one to another. Spiritual understanding is the quickening or the awakening of the spirit within. We have two ways of getting understanding. One is by following the guidance of spirit that dwells within, and the other is to go blindly ahead and learn by hard experience. Understanding.
I light the candle of will. The will is the executive faculty of the mind. It moves to action all the other faculties of the mind. Harmony and right action are produced by rounding out the will and joining it to the power of understanding. Joined with understanding, the will is being instructed how to act for the best. Do not act until you know how to act. Look before you leap. This does not imply that one should be inactive, waiting for understanding, as do many persons who are afraid to act because they may possibly do the wrong thing. It means that understanding will be quickened and the will strengthened by the confidence that comes as the result of knowledge or wisdom. Will.
I now light the candle of order. The disciple is James, and the color is dark green. Order is the faculty by which we establish harmony, balance, right adjustment, and right sequence in our lives. Order in the mind of God is an idea of harmonious progress and evolution. Order in humankind is the ability to perceive and cooperate with the law of growth, to cooperate with spiritual law. Divine order is a universal law. Each one of us is always using it to manifest everything. Each person determines how it will be used. When used in accordance with spiritual principle, good results. When used out of alignment with spiritual principle, we miss the mark, and error and strife result. Order.
I light the candle of zeal, represented by the disciple Simon and the orange color. Zeal is the greatest universal force that impels humankind to spring forward in a field of endeavor and accomplish the seeming miraculous. To be without zeal is to be without that zest of living. It is that faculty of enthusiasm, intensity, exuberance. It provides our inner urge to progress, our motivation to achieve. The highest expression of zeal is an unflagging, fervent interest in knowing, speaking, and doing good. Understanding and wisdom help to temper zeal so that its enthusiasm and intensity are directed to grow spiritually and express the Christ nature in all things. Zeal.
I now light the candle of elimination or renunciation, represented by Thaddeus and the color russet or brown. Renunciation is letting go of old beliefs or thought patterns in order to allow new thoughts to find their place in consciousness. Charles Fillmore teaches us that thoughts are things. They occupy space in the mental field. A healthy state of mind is attained and continued when the thinker willingly lets go of old thoughts and takes on new. This power allows us to release false beliefs and accomplish a mental cleansing. Elimination enables us to surrender to our inner spirit any thought that is not for our highest good, so that it may be transformed and purified in consciousness. Elimination.
I light the candle of life, represented by the disciple Judas and the color red. Life is the energy that propels all forms to action. It is the faculty of movement, vitality, wholeness, and creativity. Life is eternal, ever expansive, and ever renewing. It is our evolutionary force of motive and that impulse to grow. The force of life is indiscriminate and requires direction. When it is directed from sense consciousness, it degenerates into seeking to satisfy the senses only. But when the faculties of wisdom, understanding, and judgment direct it, it greatly enhances one's spiritual life. We wield the power of life through the intelligence of our consciousness. It is up to us to understand and align with this power of life, to think, speak, and rejoice in life, to bring forth life-affirming experiences into our lives. Life.
And so we have lit, claimed, and affirmed the 12 divine attributes or powers, which are a part of our whole Christ consciousness. And this leads us now to lighting the Christ candle, that part of us which is whole, eternal, and expresses through this human form into our human life. This was the consciousness that Jesus demonstrated so beautifully in his life on this earth. Charles Fillmore wrote, "Christmas is about the birth of the Christ consciousness at the center of the human soul, which is the holy place within and of very high attainment. The bringing forth of the Christ child is not a work that's finished in Bethlehem. It is taking place in our midst every day, and it is this we celebrate as we light the Christ candle." Now I invite you to take a moment to just sit in silence and open your heart and mind. If you have not already received a power that's calling forth within you, open your heart to hear that now. And I call our ushers forth to start bringing the congregants forward to light their candles. Take a moment of silence. Stare into your flame for a moment and know that the power that has been called forth is already alive and awakened within you. And as we move forward into the new year, will be an exciting time to see how it begins to grow and manifest in our lives. And let's sing together, Silent Night, Holy Night.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory streams from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
And now, as we come to our close, I have an affirmation, if you will, to say as we blow our candles out together. Say to yourself, as I gently extinguish this flame, I feel the power of, and name the power you have it's come to your attention today. Enter my heart and soul. Let's say that together, and then reminder that as you blow your candle out, hold your hand up so that wax doesn't go anywhere. And now together, as I gently extinguish this flame, I feel the power of strength enter my heart and soul. Thank you all for joining us for this beautiful, beautiful and powerful ceremony. We're going to be closing with the prayer for protection, and afterwards I invite you to join us in fellowship as we celebrate the coming of Christmas tomorrow. We get to celebrate with our church family today, and then tomorrow maybe you get to celebrate with your extended family. So many blessings and Merry Christmas. Please join me for the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are light. The love of God enfolds us. We are love. The power of God protects us. We are power. The presence of God watches over us. We are presence. For we are, God is, and all is well. Merry, Merry Christmas to you all. Well, I hope we see you for the burning bowl next Sunday.